Hey guys, I'm Kai from Lucas Land and Royals. Hope you're doing well. Now I realize I haven't posted a video in quite some time, and that's because ever since I was monetized, I thought I'd be living this extravagant life, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Now I'm just kidding. I know I've been monetized for about 11 months and I got a couple checks, but not quite there yet. I do have to continue working. The real reason is because I was contemplating on quitting, but I'll save that for a future video. In this video, what I want to talk about are my breeding plans. So I'm going to show you some of the pairings that I have in mind, and we'll see what we get. Now, I haven't had much luck this season. Usually I start pairing back in November and I get all types of locks. But this time around, for whatever reason, I've only gotten 3 confirmed locks, and I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit worried, because I do have a couple girls that are developing and they have pretty decent sized follicles. But those 2 girls are just not cooperating. So hopefully in the next couple days when the storm passes by, I'll be able to get some locks and show them off to you. There is a storm on its way inbound over here, and I'm going to make use of that because the change in the weather and the atmospheric pressure really entices the ball pythons into breeding mode. So I'm going to make use of that storm as much as possible. What I've done so far to prepare for that moment is I fed all the males already yesterday, and today I'm going to go through and spot clean here and there just as I usually would, but I'm going to check all of the female tubs and make sure there's as clean as possible. And I'll do that for the next couple of days until the storm hits, at which time I'll move the males into the females tubs and then just wait a couple of days and see what happens. So this one over here is the one I just pulled out. This is a highway. And the little guy in the middle, well, that is a Yellowbelly. And the reason I pulled him out is because I think it's really interesting what 2 genes like this Yellowbelly can do when they're put together. So highway, if you don't know, is a combination of a Yellowbelly and a gravel. So when they're mixed together, they are allelic, which means that they live on the same locus point on the DNA strand. And when they combine, Yellowbelly and a gravel produces this cool looking animal which resembles a highway. If you see the pattern along its dorsal, you got the dashes, looks just like a road. So that's why we call it a highway. And this project is a really cool project, but I'm still on the fence whether or not I want to continue with it. I mean, I barely started, to be honest. I haven't produced any highways of my own yet, so maybe this year I'll get lucky, and maybe this year with the pairing that I'm about to make, we'll produce a clutch that will keep me interested in this project. So he's going to be going to a lesser pastel super stripe. Now the super stripe is also an act like super because it consists of a Yellowbelly and Spectre. So Yellowbelly and Spectre becomes a super stripe. And hopefully this guy will produce some pastel highways or some lesser highways, or a combination of pastel lesser highways. There's also other combinations that can come out of that pairing, such as more super stripes and gravel specters, and combinations of gravel specters and combinations of super stripes. One more combination would be an ivory, which is a pure white snake. If it's pure white, it's going to be hard to tell if there's other genes in it, but sometimes right out of the egg you can see a little bit of coloration, and that'll be the time to try to identify if there's other genes. Once it gets a little bit older, as an ivory, it pretty much gets to be completely white, so it'll be tough by that time. So I'm going to put this with the girl that I intend to breed with him, and we'll wait and see if anything happens. So this is the girl, and you can see she's already bull wrapping. She's the one that has, I believe, 25mm follicles already. And we're gonna have to see if this dude can get her to lock, because so far she has not locked with any males, and usually she's very receptive to males, but I don't know why this season she hasn't been very receptive to any males, even some of the males that are what I consider studs. But we'll see if this guy can make a difference here. All right, next up we have this guy. This is one of my favorites. Hard to believe I almost let him go. From a genetic standpoint, not much going on. 2 codoms, which is Enchi Orange Dream, and he is also het for Clown, but he happens to be one of my best breeders. I can put him with just about any female, and I guarantee he will try to breed with that female, and 9 out of 10 times there'll be a lock. What I like to do is use them to entice females to begin breeding. If I have a female that's not breeding, I would just throw him in with her and he'll get her to lock, and then from that point on she'll be much more receptive to other males. So yeah, I kind of use them in that manner, but it works, and he really seems to enjoy the ladies. Great feeder as well. Feeds throughout breeding season, never misses a meal, and he's very active, and he's just at that perfect size, so he's not getting pushed around too much by the females, and he doesn't have to work that hard to get the females to maneuver into position. So this is a great size, and like I said, great breeder, and for that reason I really like him. Plus he's het Clown, so this year I'm going to be working on some clowns, so it's time to throw him in with the female. So over here we have a clown, and this female has started to eat really well, and then paused, and then ate a few more, and then paused. So hopefully seeing a male will get her into more of a feeding mode, because if she wants to breed, that means she has to feed in order to develop those follicles. So I'm going to go ahead and put him in here. I like to try to get them into the same hide if I am using a hide. So at least we'll put him right there and see if he wants to go in. There we go. We'll give him a little bit of an edge. Break the ice for him. We'll see how he does. So over here I have a fire. Now this one I produced myself, and the pairing that produced him was a Axanthic het pied to a Firefly het pied. So there's pied on both sides, and if we take a look at the underside, if he stops moving around so much, we have really strong pied markers. You see the 2 black tracks along both sides of the belly? So those are pied markers, which means which are indicators that he may have pied. There's a good chance he has pied because he has those markers, and we have pied on both sides. The mom and dad are both het pied. The mom, because she's visual axanthic, will 100% pass down one of her recessive axanthic genes to him, so he is 100% het for axanthic. What I like to do with him this season, and I think he's ready, he's at a good size. He's actually a little bit bigger than the Enchi Orange Dream het Clown that I showed you earlier. So I think he's ready. This will be his first season going to the breeding project. He's going to go to a Axanthic het pied, and the goal there is to produce fire lightning pieds. So I'm going to go ahead and get him into the bin or the tub with the female, and we'll see how he does. But look how gorgeous he is, and I think the way he looks, really nice specimen of a fire ball python, and I think some of that is attributed to the recessive bleed through. And again, I think he's got both exanthic, heteroxanthic, and heteropied. So, all right, well, enough talk. Let's get to business. So like I said, this is the fire's first breeding season, and he is, again, size-wise, he's ready. So what helps is, number one, the storm, and number two, the fact that this girl is on her third breeding season, so she knows exactly what she needs to do and how to get what she wants. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him in with her, and you can see she's already at the front of the tub cooling down. Now I haven't palpated her, but based on her breeding, her timing from last season, which I have still a sticker on the tub, which is from last season, I can see approximately exactly when she laid, and from that date I can kind of work backwards and get an idea of when she's developing follicles and when she's going to ovulate. So this is a good time to put the male in, and we'll give him a few months to get accustomed and figure out exactly what he needs to do. All right, this one is a Coral Glow Pied. He is no stranger to breeding. This will be his, well, I guess it'll be his second season. The first season he didn't actually produce anything. Last season he produced a clutch, and that's about it. But hopefully this season he'll do the same, produce another clutch or two. And he is a really nice Coral Glow. Coral Glow and banana are said to be the same thing, and I believe they are the same thing, just different lines, different names from different breeders. But I'm going to stick with Coral Glow because that's what I purchased him as, and just to be consistent. I've tried to purchase other Coral Glows, so I've tried to stay away from bananas. I don't know if there's going to be an issue with you know, naming a banana a Coral Glow or naming a Coral Glow a banana, but I try to avoid that. So what I'm doing now is just keeping with Coral Glows, just so that, you know, I can kind of guarantee that it is a Coral Glow. But yeah, I don't really think there's a big deal with mixing Coral Glows and bananas, but for now I'm just going to stick with Coral Glows, and this guy is going to be going to a beautiful pied, single visual recessive pied. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully she'll give us a clutch. She did take last season off, so hopefully she'll be all ready for this guy this season. So let's go ahead and get him over there and get him to work. So he's going to be going to this pied female. She is all the way in the back. Very nice, very healthy. And you know, she made a little bit of a mess in her tub. Like I said, I spot cleaned, but I didn't want to do a deep clean. So in he goes, and hopefully we'll see some results tomorrow. So this guy is new to the breeding team. This one, obviously Clown. This one is a Pastel Extreme Gene Clown, not to be confused with Gene X. This is the Extreme Gene, and you can see how bright that Extreme Gene makes this snake look. I mean, it's brighter than a Super Pastel Clown. I actually put this guy side by side to a Super Pastel Clown, and that one was actually a bit smaller, a bit younger. So typically they're a little bit brighter when they're younger, and even though this guy is larger, he was still brighter, and I think that is because of this Extreme Gene. So I'm really interested in seeing what this Extreme Gene can do mixed into with other codoms, and see if I can produce some more clown codoms that have this extreme gene with some other codoms mixed in there. I hope what I said makes sense. I actually wasn't really listening to myself, but this guy is so gorgeous. Look at this color. Look at that pattern. I'm just mesmerized by this guy, and I had no idea the extreme gene could make a animal as pretty as this one. And you can see he has plenty of energy. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him with the female. Hopefully he'll expend his energy on breeding rather than trying to run away from me. Now, with all that talk about clowns and het clowns, making more clowns, you're probably going to be surprised that I am putting him with a ivory. Not a het clown, just plain ivory. And she has been developing follicles. She has 20 millimeters, I believe. The last time I palpated, it felt like about 20 millimeter follicles. I like to give the males a head start just by placing them on top of the females, giving them a little bit of an advantage whenever I can. So there you go. And don't worry about the bowl. Like I said, I spot cleaned. I could probably just pour that out right after this video, but that's just some dust from the cocoa. Well, we'll give this couple a little bit of privacy, and hopefully he'll get the job done. I want to get some more Yellowbelly into the clown project. So over here we have a pastel desert ghost. Just look how gorgeous this guy is. Look how bright, look how clean the yellows are. Very crisp, got a little bit of dusting, which is something I'm hoping to breed out with use of other genes, but we'll see how that goes. Last season he was paired to another pastel desert ghost, and out of that clutch were pretty much all pastel desert ghost, one super pastel desert ghost female, which is the holdback, one desert ghost female, and I pretty much sold everything that I wanted to sell out of that clutch, holding back that super pastel desert ghost. And I have one more male that's a pastel desert ghost. Probably end up letting him go as well, but we'll see. He is going to be paired to two females this season. What I'm going to put to him first is a pastel lesser specter het desert ghost. And that's going to be her first season, but this guy has bred for me a couple seasons already, so hopefully he'll know what to do and get that girl in the mood. Look at him. All right, he's ready. He's ready. Let's just get him over to the girl. So this pastel desert ghost boy is going to go right here with a pastel lesser specter het for desert ghost. And you can see he is searching. He wants to get in there. You can see her, she is ready for food, but today is not feed day. Today is, sorry, I just wanted to pause. You can see his tail is up, and I don't think the camera can see it, but his scent glands basically came out right at the moment I put him in there, which is a good sign because that means he's ready. She, like I said, looks like she wants to feed, but today is not feed day. It is breeding day, so get to it. So now we come upon a new day, and just as I predicted, or just as the meteorologist has predicted, the storm has come, and you can see some flurries starting outside. So now, of course, I'm back in the snake room and I'm ready to check on those pairings. All right, so what do we have here? This is the troublemaker girl this year. For some reason, she hasn't locked with any males, and she's still bull wrapping. Where's the male? He's not really getting things done, and I don't know if it's him or if it's her. So we'll let them go for maybe another day, and if it's not going to happen, then I'll swap out the male for a different one. Not really sure what other male that I should pair with her yet, but I'll come up with something. So here we are with the Enchi Orange Dream het clown with the clown female. I think I see a lot, not sure what I'm looking at here. I do see the male's tail tucked underneath. You can see they're coiled together. Not exactly sure if he's in the right position. Kind of hard to tell. I don't want to open this tub up too much and disturb them, but if they're not locked, they're going to lock. So we'll just let them be. What do we have here? Okay, looks like he's trying. You can see he's getting the hang of it. Got his tail lined up. So he's trying. Again, this is a first year fire het Exantic, 66 het for pied male. And that back there is a Exantic het pied. So we're hoping for some lightning pieds, fire lightning pieds. Moving right along to this ivory girl. And remember, we have the Pastel Extreme Gene Clown in here. And ooh, look at that. First time male. And this is a nice lock right there. Again, she is 20 to 25 millimeters in a follicular growth. And she has locked finally. So we're going to go ahead and let them be. And hopefully we'll get some nice babies out of them. And this over here is quite an anticipated pairing, but unfortunately I don't see any action. Where's the male? He's all the way back there. He doesn't even want to be bothered. Oh, there's a little bit of shed that I missed. Oh well. So I thought I'd come in here and just check on all the pairs that didn't lock, and take a look back there. I think he's done it. I think he's gonna go, little dude. So hopefully we'll get some more Coral Glow pieds this year. And I would love it if I could get a female Coral Glow pied out of that pairing. Well, that's about as much action I've seen out of these snakes all season. I think we did pretty good. I think the only two pairs that didn't lock, first one was the Pastel Desert Ghost to the Pastel Lesser Spectre Het Desert Ghost. And I think that's just because the female is, new to breeding. This is her first season. She is up to weight. She's 1,680 grams last time I weighed her. So she should be around 1,700 by now. And maybe we'll just give her a few more chances to see how she does, give her a few more meals, and hopefully she'll turn around and lock with that boy. The other pair, kind of expected this. The pair was a Highway to a Lesser Pastel Super Stripe. The Highway is his first season. He's never locked with any females before. And then of course the female, the Pastel Lesser or Lesser Pastel Super Stripe, she hasn't locked with any males all season. I don't know, something must be up. She is producing follicles. She's bull wrapping, you saw that. And for some reason, she's just not locking. So I'll have to swap the Highway out for a different male. And I think the one that I have in mind is going to be the Enchi Orange Dream Yellowbellied Pinstripe. And that's a really, really intense orange snake. And with her, paired with her, I think we're gonna get some really bright yellows and oranges. And hopefully we can get a Super Stripe Orange Dream of some sort. That'll be pretty cool. I don't really know what I'm gonna get from that pairing because there's 8 genes in that breeding, and a hatchling could inherit 7 of those genes because the mom is a Super Stripe. She's an Act Like Super. So at most, a hatchling could inherit 7 genes. The only downside is that we could get an ivory. And like I said before, an ivory is gonna be an all white snake. You know what, maybe we could do something with the black light and see if the black light can help identify some of those genes if we do hit some ivories. But otherwise, we could get a Super Stripe. Like I said, that's gonna be awesome. And then anything else that's not an ivory should be super, super awesome with bright yellows and oranges and all the works. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna put that Enchi Orange Dream Yellowbellied Pinstripe with her and see what we get. Anyway, I'll keep you guys informed. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. As always, thanks for watching. Please share, and I'll see you guys next time.